All right, what's up? Tim Sykes here. The market is uptrending. We've really, spiked a lot in the S&P. This is over the past 14 days, and we were consolidating a little bit. Now we're actually uptrending right near the highs. I mean, this is very impressive price action, and it's a good backdrop, for a lot of volatility and a lot of opportunity. And I mean, this is just the S&P 500. This is the NASDAQ, slightly less performing because tech has been hit. The Dow is actually fantastic. The Dow is only like 6% off its like highs, which is crazy. After everyone's bitching and all of the downtrending, we're right near the highs on the Dow. This is a fantastic bounce, and it's just cool. I don't know if it's going to last, but I do want to go over what I've been doing because I've made a few $1,000s in the past few weeks, but a lot of missed opportunities. Because I'm not necessarily just focusing on the best plays like I should. And then when the best plays do come about, I don't have enough confidence to really capitalize on them and size up because I have been losing on non-perfect plays. So I guess let me start with, where should I go with? I already talked about QRTEB. I guess that was the last one. So I guess I'll start with XCPL and NINE. Neither of them are perfect plays. XCPL, 2 years is a mess, but really just the past few days, this was a really nice breakout day right here. And I thought that it was going to go more. They had an upcoming conference call and it just completely failed. And so when a stock breakout fails where it's not like a clear uptrend, it's kind of choppy, but when there's a breakout like this and it fails, you got to cut it. And fortunately I did. I didn't lose too much on it. Really got crushed now in 2 days. You just can't overstay on imperfect plays. Actually, leave that comment below. Say, I will not overstay on imperfect plays. Or, you could also say, I won't trade imperfect plays. And I will have more confidence in perfect plays. So XCPL was not perfect by any means. And what I mean by that is that even though it was uptrending, it's very choppy. Compared to NINE, also nice uptrend, but not perfect, and also an energy play. So XCPL, NINE, I wish I didn't even trade either of them because they cost me, yes, a little money, but also they cost me confidence that I should have had in perfect plays like MMTLP. I gave a video on the other day on MMTLP when it was in here, when it was testing, breaking out 750, 760, and it failed. You can see it's a clear as day breakout over the former high. Couldn't do it. The day that it did break out, I'm proud to say I was there. I bought the breakout, but I only got a small gain. And, it was actually pretty weak. It was back, where was it? This mic is hitting me. I don't like that. This dip buy, oh my God, I've done too many trades recently. Sorry, I'm filming this in many different ways. The mic is hitting my throat. It's getting electrocuted as I film this. This was my breakout where I said I'm buying this big runner and multi-week breakout. This is a fantastic entry. Not even this one, my bad. This was another breakout. This was the solid trade, or the solid entry. Partial fill on this breakout, short squeeze. I teased it for days, alerted in chat earlier today. Goals is selling the 8s. 760 was the breakout. I got a whopping 2,500 shares. This is the kind of trade, in hindsight, I should go back to and be like, guess what? Should have gotten 5,000, maybe even 10,000 shares because I knew how many short sellers were in this. And sure enough, from 760 to 975 in 2 days with hardly any downtrending. Instead, I got a partial position and I sold it way too soon. I just second guess myself and I'm sick to death. Still, $1,000, nothing to scoff at. But you have a perfect multi-day breakout. You gotta really be more aggressive on that kind of play. Let me go back to even more recently. I didn't even learn from it. This is what pisses me off. Normally, if I make a mistake and I learn from it, I do better. Did not learn from it. Right here, this was actually two trades. Jack Kellogg was shorting it, by the way. and I was going long, and I was like, I don't know what you're seeing. I know that this is a crappy company. It's going to drop in the long run, but I see breakout after breakout. So this was my big gap up breakout. They have this S1 that went effective. It's kind of a complicated situation, MMTLP and MMAT. Anyways, if you just look at it from a purely technical standpoint, 760 over the previous high, and then right here it stopped in the 990, so you want to buy it on the 10 breakout. I don't mind losing a little bit because I went for the 10 breakout and it failed. This is the problem because it failed and then rebounced, which is even more validating for the breakout. And I rightfully so bought it back at 1001, but again, only 1,500 shares. This is not the most liquid stock, so I'm not going to take 100,000, and that also would be a big dollar amount. But I easily should have taken 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000, especially because I know short sellers are involved in it, and especially because it even failed at first. Then same kind of thing, I make a lousy 40 cents. So I'm not taking the position size I want, I'm not having the confidence, and I'm exiting at the very smallest downtrend because the stock is up a lot and I don't believe in it. Terrible. Literally on this breakout here above 10, it pretty much goes straight to the 11s. So I took half the size and half the gain that I should have. Sure enough, I didn't take it overnight because now I think it's just getting a little excessive. And sure enough, yesterday or today, I guess I'm filming this on Tuesday. I'll post it on Wednesday. Sure enough, it did collapse, and now a morning panic is likely. This is usually the beginning of the end. But 2 trades, 2 perfect breakouts. I didn't get the size. I wasn't aggressive enough. Also, this morning, I did not wake up in time. There actually was a morning panic today at the open. It doesn't look like much with the afternoon panic, but in the morning, it dropped from 12 down to 10.8. You got to capitalize on this. You got to buy 1,000, 1,500 shares. You make a quick few hundred. It bounces almost perfectly. I wasn't awake for it. I knew I should have been. I didn't wake up. I'm on the West Coast for a few days, so I don't like waking up early. I'm filming all day, so I'm kind of exhausted. But when you have a perfect runner like this, you got to wake up. You got to. Also, NINE, which hasn't been the easiest, but it had a perfect morning panic from basically the high 8s to the low 8s. I wasn't awake for this, and you need that morning panic. There also is the chance when you get a morning panic that it doesn't succeed, but again, usually even if it doesn't succeed, it gives you some time to get out. Those are some mistakes. The third mistake, which I want to go over, AITX. This has been a big runner. I thought that it was finding some support in here in the 115, 112 area. So I didn't get the sharp panic that I wanted, but I got kind of like an exhaustion panic, which was fine for me. I don't mind that because it is a multi-day runner. The problem with this is that because a lot of these other plays kept going and I didn't have the patience, I stupidly assigned like a patience play to this, which should not have been a patience play. This was not a strong enough pattern. It's not a multi-week runner. It's just like a 3-day runner. And I was in it, and I could have gotten out in here in a few minutes. I had a decent gain of like 300, 400, 500. And I'm thinking, no, don't sell in the 1.2s. It's going to bounce back to the 1.3s. And I just decided to give it more patience. I went about, some business in the morning, and then it started taking out, it wasn't this bounce, it was this bounce that I was in at. And then all of a sudden I look back at it and it's taking out the day low, so I cut losses, rightfully so. Stupid $250 loss instead of a $250 gain. Again, I'm trading with small size. None of this makes that much of a difference between all of these trades. Again, I'm up a few thousand in the past few weeks. This would be a few thousand more. It's not just about the money. You want to execute well. So I can't take back AITX, MMTLP. I'm now looking for a morning panic. This afternoon panic is tough to dip by because you might get caught. It might just keep going. I don't like afternoon dip buys. So now I'm waiting for a morning panic. Also CLOW. This is probably the best runner of them all. I missed a nice 50% dip and bounce right here on this day. It was too quick, but as you can see, it keeps going. So now I'm watching it. So if you ever do mess up, it's not the end of the world. There's usually another play on deck, but you should call yourself out if you sleep in, if you trade an imperfect pattern, if you're too conservative, if you're too aggressive. Like there's so many ways to screw up trades. And I think I've done a good job screwing up some good opportunities in the past few days. CLOW, I will not make that mistake. I am hereby promising I will wake up in the morning. I will be there for the inevitable morning panic one of these days. I hope it keeps going higher. The higher, the better. But it will have another one of these, 30, 40, 50% panics if it doesn't get halted. It also might get halted because they're just shady. But if it doesn't get halted and it keeps going, we'll have another panic. Hopefully it'll be a morning panic, and I'll be ready to scoop it up because the bounce should be there. So this is my promise to do better. Leave a comment below. Tell me if you understand this lesson. Tell me if you promise to focus on perfect patterns or be more aggressive on perfect patterns. Don't trade or be less aggressive on imperfect patterns. That's today's lesson. Challenge students also, Jack Kellogg gave a great webinar today. Watch it on repeat. I'll do a video with the lessons that I learned another time, but I'm exhausted. I've been filming all day. I'll post this when I can. See you in chat.